Does love conquer hate? In this episode, we attempt to find out. Roll the tape. The year was 1985. I had just graduated from high school and I decided to serve my country by joining the United States Air Force. So I go to basic training, and in my basic training class was this guy, I'll call him Ronnie. Ronnie was an Eskimo. He was from Alaska, deep up in the country land, somewhere in some little small town in Alaska. So, I was pretty excited because being from Detroit, in my neighborhood, it was 99.9% black, right? We didn't have any, that was pretty much it. There was very little diversity where I came from. So to see someone different from me, I was pretty excited. I thought to myself, hey, this is an opportunity for me to get to know somebody different. And then I thought, an Eskimo, the closest thing I ever got to an Eskimo was an Eskimo pie, sad to say. So this was a tremendous opportunity for me to learn something. So I walk up to the guy rather enthusiastically, and I befriended him and explained to him who I was and and tried to get to know him. The guy looks at me and says, listen, let me stop you right now. I don't like black people. I looked at him, I said, you don't like black people? I said to the guy, brother, it can't be that many of us out there. You live in Alaska out in the boonies somewhere. How many black people do you know? How could you not like black people when you probably haven't seen but one or two in your whole life? The guy looks at me and he says, doesn't matter. I don't like black people. Don't talk to me. Don't say anything to me. So I said, okay. I understand where this guy's come from. Clearly, this guy is racist, but I was appreciative to the fact that at least he was one of these guys that let me know up front where he was coming from. So I said, fine. But this little guy, Ronnie, and I say little guy because he was about 5'5", about $125, a real little guy, but he liked to run his mouth. He liked to, as we would say back in my neighborhood, he liked to sell a bunch of wolf tickets. And what that means is that he's always talking, very, very argumentative. He's kind of like that little dog behind the fence that does all that barking, but then when you open up the fence, he shuts his mouth. That's kind of how this guy was. But then I thought to myself, this guy Ronnie, one day he's going to write a check that his butt's not going to be in the cash. And in less than 48 hours, that's exactly what happened, because he got into an argument with this rather strong, buff white kid. I don't know what he said to this guy, but the guy grabbed that little Eskimo by the neck and he began to choke him like this here. Hello, my friends. This is Daniel Talley, the Note to Self guy, coming at you. Hope everyone is doing well. Does love conquer hate? Well, in the case of Ronnie, it is clear that Ronnie dislikes black people. And you got to be careful with the word dislike, because dislike is a milder version of the word hate. It is akin to being hate's little brother. And if you're not careful, dislike turns into hate. So what exactly does God say about hate?
Anyone who hates a brother or sister is a murderer, and you know that no murderer has eternal life residing in him. 1 John chapter 3, verse 15.
Wow. In other words, if we show hatred towards other people, it's akin to being a serial killer. And if we die as a murderer, we will not enter heaven.
Love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew chapter 22, verse 39.
Now, those are the words of Jesus himself. And he's very clear. We are to love our brothers. It's a command, not a suggestion. Note to self. Are we listening? God says that we are to love one another. Now you may be thinking, how in the world can I love someone who hates me or who doesn't like me?
If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Romans chapter 12, verse 18.
In other words, we are to do everything within our power to live at peace with all men. Now, you can't force someone to love you, but you can show them the love of Christ in you. So Chris was choking this little Eskimo, And everybody else was saying, choke him, choke him, choke him. And while they were saying that, Chris was steady choking him, choking him, choking him. And finally, I walked over to Chris and I calmed him down and said, Chris, please let this brother down. So Chris let him down and boom, the little Eskimo fell on the floor. And then I walked over to Ronnie and I said, hey man, are you okay? He looked at me and he says, why'd you do that? I said to him, why did I do what? Why'd you help me? I already told you I don't like black people. I looked at that guy and I said, listen here, I know you said you don't like me. I don't know why you don't like me. I don't know what I've ever done to you personally, but just because you don't like me doesn't mean that I have to sit up here and let you get killed. I helped you, brother, because it seemed like to me that you kind of needed the help. And I really didn't want to see this guy kill you. So that's why I helped you. Now, let this be a lesson to you, Ronnie. I don't know what somebody black has done to you, but I want you to understand this. All black people are not the same. We're all different. There are knuckleheads that come in all kinds of colors. Black, white, Chinese, Asian, whatever the case may be. It's a variety. I mean, being a knucklehead is an equal opportunity employer, so to speak. So you should judge people based on each individual, not based on a race of people. Now, I like to tell you all that after this event that Ron and I became bosom buddies and lifelong pals. To the contrary, we did not. Our relationship was better. When I would speak to him, at least he didn't frown up this time. He just wouldn't say anything, but at least he did not frown. I never understood why he didn't like black people, but that's okay. I hope that in some way I touched his heart in some kind of way. So to the question, does love conquer hate? In this case, the jury's still out on that one. I hope that I planted a seed in him to let him know that, hey, you know, we're all in this thing together. Particularly, we're in the military, so we are a united fighting force. And how are we going to get out there and fight the enemy if we don't even like each other? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. So I would say this, Ronnie, by some strange chance, brother, if you're listening, if you come across this video, just know that, hey, I'm still your brother, and I'd love to have an opportunity to sit down with you to talk about what life is like living as an Eskimo in the wilderness out there, because I'm sure you have some interesting stuff to share. I'm sure I could learn a whole lot from you, and I'm sure I could share a whole lot about living in the hood with you. So, so brother, if you see this, hey, reach out to me, and maybe we can get together. But the message here is simply this: people, we got to learn how to love each other. Love needs to conquer hate. You know, we don't need to be disliking somebody for stupid reasons like somebody's race or somebody's color or somebody's background. That stuff is absolutely ridiculous. God tells us that we should love our brother as we love ourselves. And whoever heard of any rational person or any sane person not loving themselves? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. So I say all this to say, when you love your brother, love has the possibility of conquering hate.
Love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew chapter 22, verse 39.
By the way, if you know of a situation where love has conquered hate, leave a comment. We'd love to hear about it.